One thing about school that is absolutely certain is that at some point you are going to be doing a research paper as an assignment. And so today I want to take just a minute to tell you about this amazing new tool that we have available that is going to help make your research so easy. You're going to love it. So let me show you how to get there. From the Orion website, you're going to click on Library, and then you're going to see that there's a button that's just for research. So when you click on that, it's going to take you here to this little slideshow. And this kind of clicks through some of the um, big players that we have as far as where to research. So you're not going to just use Google. Google's great for some things, but not for school research papers. So Destiny Discover, Utah's Online Library, and specifically on Utah's Online Library, EBSCO and Gale. These are the big ones, and hopefully you're going to use those. But no matter what you use to research, your teachers are going to ask you to create a bibliography or a works cited page so that they know where you got your information. And sometimes that can be a pain. There is a page here in this that tells you a little bit about citations and bibliographies. There's some videos that explain how to do them and why we do them. But the thing that I want to show you is this amazing new tool called Scribble. So all you have to do is click on this Scribble right here, and it's going to take you to the Scribble page. And if you would like to watch the little video that tells you all about it, go for it. It's 2 minutes and it explains it all, but you don't have to watch that to just sign in. And because you are a student here at Weber School District, when you sign in with Google, it's going to take you right in here to your library. So one thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have the Scribble website open while you're working. And then you're going to have a toolbar, which I'll show you in just a minute. So let's do a little bit of research and I'll show you what Scribble can do. Okay, here I am at Utah's Online Library, and I'm going to go into Gale. And let's say that we're going to do a search for Thomas Jefferson. So I'm going to go ahead and put that search in here. And I've got a lot of information that came right back to me that I could use in my research. I'm going to just click on a couple of random ones. And let's see. Let's say that when I'm reading this article, this is exactly what I'm looking for and I want to keep it. Now, I have told you before that you can send your articles to Google Drive, and you still can. You absolutely can. But Scribble is just a little bit easier. When you have this toolbar up here, and you just click on the save button, it's going to save it. But the cool thing about this is you can do your annotations right here from the Scribble toolbar. So let's say I want to make sure to remember this little part. I just highlight. I can highlight it. I can change the colors of my highlights. If I wanted to make a little note to remind myself of something later, I can do that. I can have the text read aloud to me if I want to, and I can define specific words. There's some really cool things we can do in here, but the thing that I want you to make sure you're doing is saving it to your library. Now, if your teacher asks you to do an annotated bibliography, that means that your job is to explain a little bit about the source. So if I had to do an annotated bibliography, then after I read through this, I would come over here to this little toolbar where it has the big quotation marks, and that means the citation sidebar. While I'm over here, there's a spot right at the top that says citation annotation. If I put my cursor in there, I can type in a little sentence that explains my citation. Of course, yours is going to be a little bit better than mine. I'm just doing this to be quick. But once I've done that, I can go back to my search results here and find the next article that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and find a couple of articles, and I'm going to add them to my Scribble and making sure that every time I finish reading an article and I decide that I'm going to use that, I'm going to go ahead and click those quotation marks and add my little annotation to explain this article a little bit better. Okay, now that I'm back in my Scribble library, you can see I had some articles already in here, but the ones that I added are new and they're all like right here in this area. But maybe I want to keep my different class subjects separate, so I can create a new library. And let's say I'm going to title this library US History. And then I can put all of the articles that I'm using in US history into this library so that they're not in with everything else. So to do that, I just went to my library and I'm going to find my Thomas Jefferson articles, and I'm going to go over to this little arrow right here, and I'm going to move them to my US history folder. So now they're all just right here, and then this one, I have my science folder, so I'm good to go. Now, if I'm working with this and I'm ready to start working on my research paper, I can click on the titles of any of these. I can also look at the annotations that I've made. So here's where I had that little comment. Here's where I had a highlight in my article. If I'm looking at these and I want to go straight to the article source, this little pop out icon will send me back to my article. So that's pretty cool. I can just get straight back to it from here. So I'm ready to work on my bibliography. I need to make sure I can see my sources right over here, and sometimes you have to add or show this sidebar. If I decide that I am going to use a source in my research paper, I'm going to click this plus button to add it to my bibliography. And the cool thing is, as I'm adding, it's going to add my my citations, my works cited in the proper order. So they put themselves in alphabetical order, which your teachers are going to appreciate and you're going to love because you don't have to do it yourself. Now, here's what my works cited page could look like unless my teacher asked me for an annotated bibliography. And if I need an annotated bibliography, all I need to do is come up here and click this little checkbox. And there are my annotations that I made when I was reading through my articles in the first place. So now that I'm ready, I have my all three of my sources listed here in my bibliography. I'm going to come to copy the bibliography to a clipboard and just click on that. And then I can go to a Google Doc and I just have to paste into my Google Doc, and look how cool. It's completely formatted the correct way. It has the works cited, it has the proper spacing and indents, has my annotations here. You guys, Scribble is spectacular. You're going to absolutely love it. If you have questions, come and see me in the library.